Welcome to the Leading Executive, the preferred leadership development, leadership training, and soft skills learning management platform for various organizations. At the Leading Executive, we believe in elevating your leaders' skills with experiential learning. Our platform offers a wide range of leadership training and soft skills courses that are designed to help your leaders unlock their full potential. Whether you're an individual looking to enhance your leadership skills or an organization looking to develop your team, the Leading Executive has got you covered. Our courses are designed to be engaging, interactive, and practical, ensuring that your leaders not only learn the skills but also apply them in real-life situations. Our motto is unlock your leaders' full potential. We believe that every leader has the potential to be great, and our platform is designed to help them get there. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and start unlocking your leader's full potential with the Leading Executive. The Leading Executive, elevate your leader skills with experiential learning. Mogul TV Global Network is the #1 streaming TV network for positive programming. Built on the pillars of culture, diversity, and legacy, Mogul TV Global Network is the award-winning platform serving men, women, and families with purpose, positivity, and passion, while celebrating life by educating, inspiring, entertaining, and empowering viewers around the globe to live their lives on purpose. Visit www.themogulchannel.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to day 3 of the Energizer Leadership Summit. I am your host, Tameka Chapman, and I'm excited that you're here. I thank you for being here. I thank you for taking the time to join us every day of this week. If you've joined us so far, Monday and Tuesday, knocked it out the park, okay? Listen, the ladies came through and it was absolutely amazing, phenomenal presentations. Transformations were beginning, okay? And they're already beginning. You know, it's not a one-day transformation thing. You got to stick with it. You got to keep it going, right? But tonight, it's all about the transformation. It's about the continuous transformation that we are on as women to become the better version of ourselves, to want and desire greater and better for ourselves. You know, there is something I read a long time ago, and I think it was a quote by John Quincy Adams. It was like, I don't know what it is. I'm going to lie if I try to quote it from the top of my head, but I will tell you this. We are at a time right now when if we know better, we should be doing better. If we desire better, we should be doing better. Everything, evolves around and revolves around doing. It's not about you sitting still. It's not about you waiting for somebody else to do something, waiting for somebody else to come through for you. That is not what it's about. It's about you taking action, you doing something. And nowadays, as what I've seen, a lot of us, we are chasing something. We're chasing that thing, whatever that thing is, that shiny object that we are chasing. We're chasing it with everything that we have. But I want us to take a step back. I want us to take a step back and think about what it is that we're going after. Is it truly what we need? Is it truly what we need in our lives to really move our lives ahead? Have we consulted with the big guy on the things that we're chasing? Is it in alignment with his purpose for our lives? You know, so again, tonight is all about transformation. I'm going to kick this thing off and talk to you about chasing your transformation, but trusting his process. Okay. Because again, it's about chasing, it's about doing something. You can't sit still but want something different. You have to be moving, you have to be in motion in order for him to guide you along your way. In order for your process to work, you have to be in motion. All right, so I'm excited to be here tonight. We have an amazing lineup with amazing ladies and a gent. Okay, listen, Monday night we had our first fave gent that joined us, Mr. Antonio Mitchell. Well, tonight we're coming back with more. Okay, so tonight we are lined up with Miss Coach Charmin Deloach, Coach Charmin Deloach, who's going to be talking to us about transforming our pain into power. It's called Bitter to Beautiful. Woo! That hit you, right? That hit you. So Coach Sharman is going to be doing our workshop tonight. And then we have an amazing panel of ladies who's going to come through, moderated by the beautiful Miss Ivory Claire on motherhood, marriage, and money. Yes, motherhood, marriage, and money. We are touching every aspect of women during this summit. It's not just about leadership in your business, leadership in your career. It's about leadership in your home as well. So we are wanting to tap into every part and energize every part of the lady. So like we've done every night, if you're tuned in, I appreciate you. I want you to hit that share button, share it into your groups, share it into additional pages that you're on. And if it's not your group, don't share it unless you have permission. We don't want you banned in a group, okay? But we definitely want you to share this presentation to allow more women to tune in to what it is that's being shared. It's a jam-packed night. And again, it's all about transformation. So when we talk about transformation, I know for me, I ran. Okay, this is transparency talk on transformation, y'all. Okay, excuse my pillow. I needed this to lean on for the night. Okay, but I know for me, I ran from my transformation for a very long time. I ran from my purpose for a very long time because I was so ready to do this and do that because I could. I can do this and I can do that. And for a long time, I was still searching. What am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to do this? What does it look like for me? Why should I be doing this? Is it really God's will for my life for me to be doing the things that I'm doing? 9 times out of 10, it was not. It was me because, there's a saying, just because you can don't mean you can. Well, I was doing the things, okay? I was doing it all. And it wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed. And I should not have been because I was wearing myself thin. I was wearing myself out. And I know many of you can testify to that. You can raise your hand with me if you want. You don't have to do it in the comments, but raise it in the comfort of your home, wherever you are, that we get so involved in doing things that we should not do. And then we're questioning, why is it not happening? Why is this not happening? Why is this thing happening that I didn't want when I really wanted this, but you're not even working towards that. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You've pulled yourself so thin into all the places that you can never really go forward with the thing that you are supposed to be doing, with the purpose in your life. We've lost touch with our purpose. We've lost touch with who we are at our core. And so along the past 2 nights, we've had some ladies, and I forget who it was, but she spoke about be still. Be still in your mind, body, your spirit, and your soul. You need to be still so that you can begin to hear his word speak to you, right? We want this transformation, but we can't get the transformation because we don't know where to start. It all begins if you stop doing with all the things that you're doing. Stop doing all of that. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for you to do all the things just to come back and still be in the same place, right? So again, I'm not telling you to do something that I haven't done, okay? This is a part of your journey. It's a part of you evolving. It's a part of you actually stepping into the light and actually having a happy life and being pleased with the things that you're doing, making a greater impact in the lives of those around you and those who don't even know you. You can make an impact. Those that you don't know, you can make an impact on lives just by showing up as the authentic version of you. So when I speak about chase your transformation, the key word there is your. There's so many times that I see so many people, okay? They're trying to do what everybody else is doing because it looks easy. Oh, I can do that. Okay, that looks easy. I can do that too, right? No, absolutely not. Chase your transformation. You need to know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And that's the thing that you have to chase. Chase it with everything in you, because that is uniquely designed. You have been uniquely, I think it was Natisha spoke to us last night about being uniquely designed for what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So you can't do what everybody else is doing. You can't do it like they're doing it. It's going to take you 10 times, it's going to make it 10 times harder for you to actually be successful and achieve the thing that you think you're going for. So I want you to stop. I want you to start thinking about what it is that you're supposed to do. Pray about it. Ask God to guide you. Ask him, let the man talk to you, okay? Let him talk to you. He'll talk to you, right? So one of the things that I want you to understand about chasing your transformation, embrace patience and faith. Embrace patience and faith. And listen, patience was not my strong suit. Sometimes it's still not. However, I had to learn how to have patience. And a part of me learning patience, I did something that was probably not the best thing for me to be doing at the time, but it turned out to be one of the biggest blessings that I was able to do. And I became a big sister with the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization, and I have a little sister named Ashanti. We were matched. We were so much alike in the different things that we like to do, the different things that we wanted to do. But when I tell you that little girl, she was 13 years old when I met her. She taught me patience. Okay. This child taught me patience that I did not have. I wasn't looking for it, but God knew that that's what I needed. He knew that I needed patience to be blessed with my ultimate blessing of having two babies after 18 years, right? So embrace patience and embrace your faith, because sometimes along the way it's going to feel like, okay, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can go on. Well, that's when you have to dig deep into the faith that you have to say, you know what? In spite of how I feel right now, I know God got me. Okay. In spite of me not wanting to go forward, I know God got me. In spite of all of the negativity that I'm still having to face, in spite of all the challenges and obstacles that I still have to deal with, I know that God got me, and He's not going to allow me to fail. He's not going to let me fall on my butt. Okay. Now you might get close to falling because He got to teach you a lesson, but He ain't going to let you fall and leave you there. Right. So embrace patience along your journey and embrace faith. And the other thing about that is I want you to enjoy your journey while you're on it. Enjoy your journey. Too many times we're just trying to get by. We're trying to hurry up and get through with it. We're trying to move on because we're tired. We're tired of dealing with it. We want to get to the end. We're tired of, we're tired of the journey. Well, at the end of the day, if you don't recall what it is that your journey was about, you can't help anybody. You can't help anybody that needs to understand what you went through and how you overcame. So what I want you to do is I want you to embrace faith, embrace patience, but also enjoy the journey while you're on it. Begin to take a step back and stop stressing about everything. Align yourself with your purpose. Align yourself with God's purpose for your life. If you don't do anything else, that is the best thing you will ever do in the history of living, okay? When you become in alignment with God's will for your life, it seems like everything is possible. And because it is. And I'm speaking from experience. Like anything that is that I want to do, I'm doing it. I am going to do it because I have faith that He has given me the download that I need to do. He's given me the strategy of how I need to implement it. And I just need to take the first step and keep moving. And if I, start to go on off the path, all He's going to do is nudge me a little bit to get me right back on path, right? If I see myself going off again, He's going to nudge me a little bit to get me right back on path. But He cannot nudge you and get you on path if you're not moving. Okay. So align yourself with God's purpose for your life and begin to do that thing. And the last thing when it comes to chasing your transformation and trusting His process is releasing control. Where are my control freaks at? Are you a control freak? Do you feel like, I have to have my hands in everything? Okay. I'm still there sometimes. I'm proud of myself for my evolving. However, we have to learn how to release control. We are not in control of anything, especially when it comes to the purpose in our lives, especially when it comes to life. We're not in control of what we're doing and how long we're here. However, we have to learn to release control. And a long short story about that is, you know, before I found out that I was 2 months pregnant, with my first child, um, I had a conversation with God. And at that moment is when I released control of trying to do the thing that he can just do just like that. Okay. I had to release control and say, I truly put this in your hands. Bruh, it's on you. You're gonna have to come through if this meant. If it's not meant, I'm good. But that was me releasing control because I was putting myself in a state of depression over and over and over. I wasn't healthy. I didn't have a healthy mental wellness at all. I did not have a healthy mindset at all. Okay. So I had to learn how to release control and truly release control, because a lot of times we'll say, okay, I'm putting it in God's hands, but then we turn around, we're still trying to do something like God need our help. He don't need your help, right? He does not need your help. If you're saying you put it in his hands, put it in his hands and let it go. Again, you are still aligning yourself with God's purpose, and you are walking in your purpose driven life the way that you should. However, you're not trying to control it, because you can't control it. God is in control. Ultimately, he's in control. This presentation is all about chasing your transformation and trusting his process for your life, trusting God's process for your life. So, what I want to share with you right now is 3 things that you can start doing right now, today. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. You don't have to wait until next week or next month or next year. Don't do a January 1st resolution. We don't believe in those no more. Okay. Listen, I want y'all to start doing these things now. Take action today. So, the first thing I want you to do is have daily reflection and prayer, right? Daily reflection is how things have gone, but that prayer, start your day with prayer. Another long short story is, last year. I mean, I've said it time and time again over the years, but last year I truly sat down having a conversation with God, and I said, you know what, God, I put it all in your hands. I'm putting everything in your hands. I'm putting my marriage in your hands. I'm putting my whole life in your hands. I'm putting my babies in your hands. I'm putting every struggle or challenge that I'm faced with. I'm putting it in your hands, and you're going to have to fix this. You're going to have to show me what I need to do, and I will do it. And once I released control, okay, once I released control and I began to create my own routine for God being first in my life and giving him full control, everything began to fall in place. I no longer, stressed or thought about all the things that I was doing or wanted to do, because it just fell into place. Anytime I would reach out, I would get an automatic yes, because it was falling into place. It was God making things fall into place because I was truly allowing him to be at the helm of everything about my life. I know it's hard to do at times, because we're like, you know what, God, you ain't moving fast enough. Well, he moves at his pace, not yours. All right. So that's the first thing: daily reflection and prayer. Create a routine where you put prayer as the first thing that you do every day you wake up. Give that time to God. He don't put a time limit on it, and neither should you. But you speak to him, and you speak everything that you feel that you need to say to him in that moment. Don't put it off until later in the day. Who knows if you're going to have a chance to say something to him later in the day. So choose to put God first in your life and pray to him and talk to him every single day. If you don't know how to pray, the Our Father prayer works, okay? And then you just say what's on your heart. Just speak what's on your heart. The second thing that I want you to begin doing today, affirmations, right? Affirmations are powerful. And I forget, and I think she's here, that I was talking to one day about affirmations. And it's not just about the affirmations, oh, I will conquer the day, and I will do all the things that's on my list. Absolutely not. What you will do is you will go to the Bible. We're going to talk about this, all right? Because I believe this is Carlika who told me, you speak God's word into your life. You get affirmations from the Bible, and you speak those words into your life. You don't just need random words being spoken into you. Don't do that. Be intentional about speaking God's word into your life. Read the Bible. Read the Bible. It's great to go to church because you get a greater understanding, but you should read the Bible for yourself and understand what you're reading for yourself. If you don't understand all those big words, then get another one that translated for you to everyday language, okay? But at the end of the day, read it for yourself. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to make you stronger. It's going to make you stronger in his word. But you find scriptures in, what is it? Matthew 17:20 is one of my favorite scriptures. And that's all about faith, having faith the size of a mustard seed. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, anything is possible. I wrote my book on that scripture. And I named my book after that scripture, Faith of One Mustard Seed, because that's all you need. You don't have to have 1,000 pounds of faith hanging around. You just need to have a little bit of faith that God's going to come through for you and watch what he do. Okay. So that's the second thing. Affirmations from the Bible. Find a word, speak it into your life. Read the Bible for yourself. Get an understanding of it for yourself. And the last thing that I want you to do starting today is have small acts of surrendering. Ooh, yeah, I just cussed somebody. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Small acts of surrendering. Start practicing small acts of surrendering in your daily life, like now. What does that look like? Well, I don't know what it looked like for you, but I can tell you this. It's as simple as, entrusting a minor decision to God, right? If you can't just let all the way go because you really think God needs your help, then give him a little bit and see and watch what he do, right? Letting go of the things that you're worrying about. I know we've all seen that when we worry, it's the opposite of faith, right? So if you're going to say that you have faith, you got to let the worries go. You have to let all that stressing go. What you stressing for? Why are we stressing about everyday stuff that we don't have control over? Exactly, Aubrey. We can't do both. We can't have faith and worry. That's stressful. Ooh, my chest is hurt right now just thinking about it. When you are saying that I have faith in God, he is going to come through. He's going to do what he said he's going to do in my life. You remind him of his word and you lick your hands off of it. You take your hands off of it because he shows up at the right time, at the right moment. I'm holding myself together because it is a real thing. I want every woman who is tuned in, every woman who will listen to this, every woman that comes back to tune in at a later time. I want you to understand that you don't have to do this thing alone. You are not alone. You don't have to act alone. You don't have to feel like you have to take the weight of the world upon your shoulders and do it all. There are women who want to see you succeed. There are women who want to support you. There are women who will stand by you, who will pray for you, who will pray over you, who will mention your names in rooms when you're not nowhere around. There are women who care and who genuinely want to see you win, who want to see you smiling and who want to cherish everything about you. You just have to make sure that you are circling yourself with those type of people who will speak life into you, who will speak positive words into you, who will energize you and hold you accountable. Hold you accountable for staying on your journey, staying in your transformation, not hopping out of it because, that's a little bit hard right there. No, you stick with it and you go deeper in your faith that God is going to meet you there and he's going to take you right on through. Right? Because at the end of the day, we have to trust his process. It's not our will, it's God's will. And that's the process. His will is the process. So again, I just want to welcome y'all to Energize the Leadership Summit. Y'all just had to share that because I'm tired of seeing so many women not happy. I'm tired of seeing some women still struggling. I'm tired of seeing some women not able to move forward and not understand how to move forward. And I'm tired of seeing it because at one point I was there. I was tired of seeing myself struggling and not knowing how to get through, not thinking about, okay, you're stressing about everything that you shouldn't be stressing about. And so I want to help you relieve yourself by encouraging you to find your purpose in life. Walk in that thing. Coach Sharman's going to come through and she's going to tell you some more about walking in purpose. Listen, this summit is blessing somebody. And I know if it's blessing me, it's blessing many others. So please engage with us in the comments here. Let the presenters know that you are here. Let them know that you are tuned in. And let us know your takeaways. When we're done with this, let us know your takeaways. We definitely want to engage with you. We are excited that you're here. I'm excited that I'm energized that y'all here, okay? I am energized. And I'm so excited that these ladies are joining and have said yes to me. So before we kick off, I want to say thank you to each of our sponsors. We have four sponsors for tonight's, this week's summit. Let me pull them up here. We have Sis Means Business by Dr. Tavis Taylor, Mogul TV Global Network. We have Moshe with Gerard Ware, and we also have The Leading Executive, right? So I want to say thank you to each of our sponsors. We appreciate you for believing in the Energizer brand and the Energizer Leadership Summit to helping us bring this forward. So what we're going to do right now, we're getting ready to hop into this amazing panel, y'all. And I'm so excited about this panel because it's all about motherhood, marriage, and money. All right. So let me bring on Miss Ivory. Miss Ivory, are you ready? There she is. There she is. How beautiful. Ivory is in the building. All right. So let me get my Carlica Bears Night. Well, hold on. I don't want to mess her name up. Carlica Katrina Bears Night Menendez in the building. Okay.
Hello.
And we have Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie. Hey. Miss Andrea Smith is joining us tonight for the panel of motherhood, marriage, and money at the Energizer Leadership Summit. So listen, Ivory Clara is moderating this. I'm gonna let her take over. I am releasing control. Okay.
Listen, first of all, Mr. I was backstage on the phone texting and getting in the chat because I am energized. You know, this is my bread and butter. You know, I'm like, yes, me. First of all, I was taking notes for me. Okay, I was taking notes for me because I'm like, I talk about releasing control, but you know, I gotta hold a little bit too. So I'm like, that was my cue. I need to release. Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm writing notes. I'm taking notes. I'm like, that's on point. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Hey, ladies, how are you?
Good. How are you, gorgeous?
I'm good.
Y'all had to throw the glasses on today, okay? I had to throw the glasses on.
We got to be able to see what's going on. It's so much goodness.
Yes.
So thank y'all for joining the show today. And we about to talk about motherhood, marriage, and money. But before we get into that, Miss Tameka, I know you introduced yourself, but again, for those that just the latecomers into the building, introduce yourself to us, please.
Absolutely. I'm not going to give y'all the TED Talk dissertation of a title, okay? But I'm Tameka Chapman, the founder of energizeHER, which was created to help normalize the conversations about mental wellness for women of color. And so we are here. I'm excited. And that's what Energizer is all about. We have the Energizer Village for Girls, which is all about now educating and empowering our young girls, our Gen Z girls, to become the ladies of our future, because they are our future, right? So it's up to us to bridge that gap and have those conversations and begin nurturing them the way that they need to be, so they become, the responsible young ladies that we need them to be for the life.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Cookie, tell us about you. Tell us about Miss Cookie.
Yes. All right. So as Tameka said, my government name is Andrea Smith, but I go by Miss Cookie, and pretty much everything I do, unless I'm training people, and then I'm Coach Cookie. I am a mom of two. I got an adult one. I got one all the way to adulthood. Praise the Lord. And then I have a teenage son. I am a business owner. I have my own fitness studio, which keeps me super busy. And by day, I am a social worker. So I've seen a lot. Been through a lot. I'm so thankful and grateful for this opportunity, because either through life experiences or by guiding other people through their experiences, I have been through a lot, and I feel like I want to share that knowledge, and then I want to be poured into. So many times we get into a space of always giving, but we need to be filled up sometimes. So I'm just thankful to be here.
Oh, awesome. And Miss Carlica, please tell us about Miss Carlica.
Hey, everyone. So look, Carlica Katrina Bass Night Menendez. Yes, all of that. And I'm the CEO and founder of Inso Inc. Inside Out, where we are educating and empowering women on their wellness, menopause in the workplace. So look, if you see me over here fanning a little bit, you see a little sweat dripping, I didn't run out and go do a 5K real quick, okay? Because I need to get where Miss Cookie at in the studio or something, okay? I'm not a runner or a track star, but look, I might have a little hot flash going on, and that is all right. And so I'm just honored to be here with you all on tonight. I know we're going to have a real good, juicy conversation. So look, I'm going to tell all you all out there now, if you have not hit the share button, you might as well hit the share button. You might as well get your notebook, because we're talking about motherhood, marriage, and money. I am a mom of 3, and you all look, my youngest is getting ready to go to high school. He finished his last day of 8th grade today. Okay, so we like, this is the last one, and those 4 years about to go by like that. So I got to take it all in, because I'm not going to get no more of them calls, praise the Lord, from the school talking about Wilson and Dad's is late or any of those things. So look, let's get into it.
That's congratulations. So just like Miss Carlika said, we are talking all motherhood, marriage, and money. And this is a girl talk. So we about to just have conversation, dialogue. This is a girl talk. So again, share this to all your good girlfriends. Share this. I'm Ivy Claire. I'm the moderator. So we just gonna take you through this process. So I just want y'all to close your eyes. Close your eyes, okay? And just close your eyes. Miss Tameka, when I say motherhood, what feeling do you feel?
I feel love. I feel love because of my journey to motherhood. As I shared earlier, it took me 18 years to become a mom, to become a mama, 18 years to get pregnant. And so when I hear the word motherhood, I feel love, but I also feel the struggle. And I remember the struggle that it took me to get here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I feel blessed.
Okay. Keep your eyes closed. Miss Carlika, when I say motherhood, how do you feel?
Nurturing, guidance. I just feel that it's nurturing on both ends, inspiring, where my children, I have inspired them, but they have inspired me as well.
All right, Miss Cookie, when I say motherhood, same thing. Same question? What are your feelings? How do you feel?
I honestly feel almost overwhelmed because I think about all the different experiences, and it's not a bad overwhelm. I just feel so many different emotions when I think motherhood. The first one being thankful that God blessed me with my kids, and that the experiences that we've been through, the memories we've made, the things that we've done. I also feel some fear because as a mom, regardless of how good you got it together and what all you doing, you're always kind of feeling like, Lord, could I have done something better? Could I have done something different? So I want to make sure that I am guiding my kids in the right way that they should go. I feel love, just like someone else said earlier, that my kids are my safe place, my home, when I'm down out ugly, snotty, hair nappy, they gonna love me and I'm gonna love them when they look the same. So it's a lot of feelings. I can't pinpoint to that one. It's a lot of them that come over when I think motherhood.
Okay, so keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Marriage. Marriage.
Oh.
When you, Miss Tameka. Having a girl talk, it's just us in here. It's us.
I would say when I hear the word marriage, I think of the journey. This year I posted on my profile that my husband and I have been married. We reached 25 years this February, and it's been a journey. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's been a lot of having to understand where each one is coming from just to get to some kind of common ground. But I also feel blessed, and I also feel honored to not be in the dating scene, because y'all be trifling out there, okay? I done heard some stories. I'm just like, I feel blessed, and I'm not in the dating arena at this point in my life.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I think, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel when I hear the word marriage.
Okay, Miss Carlika, how you feel?
So when we say marriage, I feel companionship, but struggle. I feel letting down and moving yourself out of the way to a certain degree. Um, Communication, transparency, vulnerability, trauma, hard discussions, but someone that you can build with.
Okay, Miss Cookie.
Listen, when you said marriage, I'm over here. Tameka said not on the dating scene. Lord, I done been on the dating scene recently. So I'm over here like, send it my way because the struggles of the dating scene gotta be worse than the struggles of being in a marriage. But I do feel like marriage is a beautiful thing, something that can be trying and challenging, but something that is well worth it. It is something that is desirable. I think that we live in a society where it's been kind of downplayed and downgraded, and people are saying, don't do that. Let's go have a hot girl summer. But I think that marriage is an ultimate commitment if you're doing it with your person. You're one that God has ordained to be yours.
Okay. And then the last one, watch your eyes closed. Money. Your money, Miss Tameka. Your money.
When I hear the word money, what I feel is wealth. I feel wealthy, okay? Because that's what money brings wealth. Well, you don't bring wealth, but when you have money, you're wealthy, right? If you treat it right, money becomes a road for you. It becomes a vehicle for you to do different things, right? But when I also hear money, it's not necessarily freedom. It's money freedom, and it can give you time freedom, but it's not necessarily just the freedom that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the freedom just to spend time with my babies. A lot of times we're in this 9 to 5, and we're still trying to figure out like what can I do to get out of this 9 to 5. Well, that becomes you need to find a way to make money so that you can get out of the 9 to 5 and begin to do the things that you want to do. So for me, when I hear the word money, I think of wealth, I think of legacy, I think of just the ability to raise my babies and be home with my babies and homeschool my babies and enjoy my life.
Okay. Miss Carly.
I think of stewardship. I think of financial struggles because we dealt with that growing up as children. But I also think of abundance, that because of our talents and our gifts, it's there and available. When you first said it, Ivory, first thing that came to mind was money, 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 money.
My answer.
I didn't want to be the first one. Thank you, Kelly.
Yes. Look, are we on me? My eyes still closed. I'm sorry. But yes, the song absolutely came to mind. And so I played the whole song. And then I was like, run me my money. I know that so many times when we think of money, a lot of times, they say more money, more problems. But I want that money. I want that bag, and I want the knowledge to know how to manage it, to make it grow. But I know that money can open a lot of doors that sometimes people without those financial means and resources, they can't get to. So I love being in a place where if I want to go on vacation, I can go on vacation. If I want to go buy something, I can go buy something. So I'm like, run me my money and then play this song in the background while I dance to it.
Hey.
I love it. Run me my money.
Yes.
Okay, ladies, open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Woo.
Okay.
Thank you, Ivory. Thank you.
Yes.
Close your eyes, just like kind of, how we talked about yesterday, like silence your mind, just close your mind, just close your eyes, get away from your distractions, because sometimes, you got your chats going on. I can't see the chats, but you got the chats going on, you got distractions. So I just wanted you to close your eyes, actually just think about when you hear those words, because sometimes it depends on what season you are at in your life. Like you hear motherhood, if my kids is driving me crazy, if I close my eyes and really think about motherhood, may not sound too good to me right now. Or if I'm going through a hardship right now in my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It may not sound too good, but if I'm happy, or if I can't pay my bills, depending on what season right now, I may not like money right now, or it may be like no. So I just want you to just close your eyes and just think about like, what does money, marriage, and motherhood mean to me? So, do you think if you don't have either one of those things, you are less successful, Miss Tameka?
Not at all. No, and I would say that is me being have an evolved mindset, because at one point, because of my journey to motherhood and not being able to have children, that was how I rated my whole life. I put everything on, okay, well, first of all, I'm less than a woman, okay, because I can't have kids. I'm not going to have anything or anybody to love on, to raise up and do the right thing by them, because I can't have kids. So at one point, my whole life was all about not having a child, not having my babies now, right? But at this point in my life, no. I had to get to the point of being okay with not having. And once I got to the point of, you know what, if it's in God's will for my life to have children, He gonna give them to me, right? If it's in God's will for my marriage to succeed and to continue to go, He's gonna give us the opportunity to learn how to communicate better together. If it's in God's will for me to have a successful business, He's gonna give me the strategy to be able to make the money. And as Miss Cookie say, have ways that I can manage the money and make it grow and scale. So at this point in my life, no, I don't feel that if I don't have one, that I'm not successful, because I'm successful like every single day. Okay.
Because we always hear like, if we get married, we always hear, what's the next question? When
When
you
you have babies.
have,
Mhm.
you're gonna have the babies, right? So Miss Cookie, so if you have a couple that just got married, they've been married about 5 years, and they keep hearing, when the baby's coming, when the baby's coming. What would you say to what would you that because like I'm gonna say the older generation, or the seasoned generation, they look at a good established marriage or couple or successful couples based on a marriage. I mean, or based on motherhood. How would you encourage those women that's my mama wants me to have babies?
Yes. And I feel like we got to find a voice, because a lot of times people get bullied into motherhood when that may not have even been their ultimate goal.
Right.
They may not have came into it thinking, oh, I want to have these babies, but because somebody else wants them to have some kids, now they're jumping into having kids. And Tameka, I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. My babies was here before I was ready to be a mother. I was like, hold on, you're taking me too fast. But so I've been a mom for a very long time, and I did not face that. But I have a friend that is married. One of my best friends has been married 7 years now, and they have not had a baby. And so people would always ask that question, when y'all having kids, what's going on? When you going to have a baby? And I knew the backside of it. I knew the struggle of it. And so I would almost get mad and get offended when people would ask them that, because outside looking in, you don't have a clue what's going on. And then me and my smart mouth, it ain't none of your business what's going on either. Because my friend's not going to say nothing, but here I come. I'm going to talk about it. So what else? But I feel like we need to educate. We get so stuck in ways a lot of times and think that's the tradition. That's the way it's always gone. So that's the way it's supposed to be. And it does not have to be. Some people cannot have any fertility issues and just not want any kids. They want to be married and in their union forevermore. And that's fine. So I think that we just have to kind of set the standard and set the stage to know that it's okay to not go into motherhood if you don't want to go into motherhood, or if you can't go into motherhood. And it shouldn't be seen as a defect, or it shouldn't be seen as less than, but open conversations like this open that stage to let people know that it's okay.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. Miss Rodriguez, what would you tell the mothers like that lose themselves in motherhood? Like,
Come on.
like you lose your whole identity as being a mother. Like, that's your only job is to be a mother.
Girl, go find yourself, like right now. Get off this live and go find like go find yourself. No, seriously. All these points of even the pressure, right? I'm a PK kid, so there was pressure, right? And I had my kids out of wedlock. There was pressure, okay? Pressure on top of pressure. But then I think we talk about the seasons, right, of people's lives, where you are. Are you focused on building your business right now? Or is it that you don't even have a desire to be married or desire not to have children? And all of those, look, I'll tell any single person right now, you can be single, you can be saved, you can be successful, you can do all of those things, embracing your singlehood, living your life. And if you're married, or if you're a mom, or if you're all, all of those things together, you can live. You can still be you. And so in that role of marriage and motherhood and all of the things, right? I've been a mom. My oldest is 22. And so I've been a mom like half of my whole life, right? And so having that opportunity to say, you know what, who am I? Because now we're down to the last one going through high school. So what are we moving into? What do they call it? That empty nester. What your girl not about to be doing. I'm not having empty nester syndrome and getting all depressed and all of these different things because, oh my God. So this is why if you're married, this before this time, you have to really know who I am. If you feel like you've lost yourself, get back to the basics of I'm not the 20-year-old, right? So my mindset has shifted prayerfully. Your mouth has shifted prayerfully. Your money situation has changed prayerfully. And I say prayerfully because age does not equate to wisdom and growth. And so prayerfully, you're making these adjustments and changes. And then you're finding, who am I? What is it that I love to do, even outside of my kids? And even with your kids in the home, are you doing those things now? What does our relationship look like in our marriage just with us? Because a lot of times, and we were guilty of this, like we just being all the way honest, we was pouring so much into our kids, doing the things, right? Not because we're perfect parents, but then we were putting ourselves and the marriage on the back burner, right? So we're not even pouring into the marriage. So when it starts straining to almost the brink of divorce, right? Now we have to reset, making sure that God is the center, right? That's number one. But then finding yourself as an individual to say, I love to travel and it's okay. Even if you got to travel by yourself, girl, pack your bag, keep a bag packed, okay? Keep your bag packed. Book the trip. You've been planning the same trip for like 5 years now. Like they got too many ways to pay for this trip that you still haven't taken that trip. And then find you some good girlfriends. And if you can't find those or you don't have any, go solo. But when we are self-aware and we really appreciate and love ourselves, then we're not going to continuously put ourselves on the back burner because we can't even function fully from that place.
Right. And
that's a collection plate.
Yeah, you're right. And that's good because, like Miss Cookie, I had my kids at a young age too. So my whole adult life was with my children. So now I didn't start discovering who I was until I turned 40, and I realized I didn't even know who I was, what I liked. I never went to the movies by myself. I never ate by myself. I never went to any place by myself. If one of my girlfriends or whoever couldn't go with me, I wouldn't go. And so I had to start to. I remember I was maybe too much, but y'all my good girlfriends now. So I remember I was like sitting and I was taking a bath and I was like, God, show me me, because I didn't know what I like to eat. I didn't know anything about me. So I had to start learning, not even rediscovering myself because I didn't even know myself. So I just had to just start, like you said, to start going out and just doing things. And I like this. Oh yeah, I like it by myself though. Not with anybody. So that's very important to to start to learn what you like.
Absolutely.
Start being your own friend.
That's good.
So Miss Cookie. Okay, so we talked about motherhood. Now we're gonna transition to marriage. Now we're gonna transition to marriage. How do you handle if your husband don't support your business, Miss Cookie?
Who child when I find him?
Okay.
So let me preface this with I have not been married. I have been in two extremely long-term relationships.
Okay.
Lord. So I have been in on and off again 13-year relationship, and then I have been in a relationship for 7 years. So I've been in long relationships. But what I will say, in that first relationship, I was not in a business space. So if anybody ever comes and talks to me, I will tell the story that I had no desire to be a business owner. Resilient Studios was born straight out of God because, baby, I was the person, let me go to work from 9 to 5 and send me home. Don't request or require anything else from me outside of that. And so with this, God opened the door I hadn't even knocked on. And then when he opened the door, I was like, God, I'm not going over there. Nope. And so then he kept nudging until the business was born. And I feel like that's why a lot of things have been successful is because it was God's doing. It wasn't me. It wasn't any part of my plan. But when I came into this business, previously, my ex would not have been okay with business stuff at all because he wanted me at the house, and then I'm over here trying to save this relationship and be at the house. I think that a lot of times you gotta listen to what God is telling you. You gotta listen to your calling. You gotta know what your purpose is, and that has to do with being in tune with yourself and knowing what you love and knowing where your passion is. But in my relationship, the newer relationship, he was fully supportive of everything I needed to do with my business as far as getting it started. We learned together, we grew together. If I didn't like this, he came over here and helped me figure it out. We bumped heads with the marketing of it because what you do when you work out, you got on your workout clothes, they a little fitted, it's a little stuff showing, and so we've had that head bump. But what we would do is sit down and talk it out. Like I needed him to understand why I can't be in the gym in a moo working out. Like this is not the look. This is why I can't say that I'm changing bodies one body at a time when I ain't showing nobody's body. I can't say that we got dance fitness and we teaching these things if they ain't seen me do nothing to tap my toes. So I think that communication is key a lot of times in a lot of stuff. And I'm a talker. And so if we cannot get to a place where we can sit down and talk it out, what are we doing? So I do feel like you just got to talk about it. And then sometimes they may not be willing to give right then, but if you're really passionate about it, be willing to bring it back to the table, talk about it in a calm way, and know that sometimes you might have to walk away from that conversation and come back to it later on when sides have come, when we both in a level-headed space. But talk about it. Know your whys. Don't just be flying on a whim, and also be willing to listen because you're not just here to sell your side of the story. Because even though they might not be on board, they might have something that they can pour into you that you like, you know what? I didn't think about that, but yeah, I better not let my booty cheek hang out. I just wear some fitted pants, So it's like just having those conversations with your spouse and being willing to learn, not be stuck in your ways. That's it.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
I better get to the gym and them moo-moos, okay, and look sanctified. Look sanctified.
Yes.
Miss Tameka, how would you handle if your husband don't support your dreams or don't support your business?
Okay, I can tell you that from experience. Okay.
Go see neck and butt.
Listen, because there have been times that I wanted to do things and he has said, okay, I'm not supporting that. What? What you mean you're not supporting this? I support everything you do.
Yeah.
I have done everything in my power to make sure that you are happy with the things that you wanted to do in life, and you want to turn around and tell me you not support me in this thing? Bro, you ain't have to get on board to get out the way, like for real. Because at the end of the day, I have to sit here and make sure that I'm happy.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna look, Gerard. I'm not gonna flat out disrespect you. And I hear what you're saying. And so I can take that in consideration if you're coming at me from a positive point of this is why I'm not supporting it. But don't just say I'm not going to support it just because you don't want me to do it. So we had to get to that agreement of don't just tell me you're not supporting me because you don't want me to do that thing or that thing with somebody else that you don't even know, right? So for me, I don't back down. Like at this stage in my life, because I'm in tune with God, what God has for me, and I'm in alignment with His with Him for me. I'm not backing down. And so that is like Miss Cookie said, it's a conversation. I have the conversation. I say, hey, this is what I'm planning to do, especially if it has anything that could affect our relationship or affect our household, or me being in the house as a mom and a wife. If it has anything to do with that, yeah, we'll have a conversation about it. But most things, I'm just be honest with you, has nothing to do with my household. So I'm going to make the decisions that I want to make in my business. And I thank God that I have it that way. Okay. But yeah, if for me, it is either you get on board or you get out of my way, for me. And again, I'm not being disrespectful, but because I'm just in alignment at this stage in my life. Now, it's been some times, but I was not in alignment, y'all, okay? I was on like 50, 11 things that I should not have been doing. Carlika, you are a witness.
Yes.
Because I am right now in alignment with what I know for a fact that God has for me and what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, you're not gonna get me off of that. And I think it comes a point for me of because I'm being transparent. So you don't tell my husband, y'all. Okay. Um, but I will say that because he is so used to him saying, okay, I don't support that. And then I would say, you know what? It's all right. I'm just not going to do it. Right. I would back off because again, I want to keep peace in the home. Like Miss Cookie, I'm over here trying to do the things to keep peace in the home. Okay. But at the end of the day, at this point in my life, I'm just able to last and the third time. At this point in my life, either you get on board or you get out the way. And I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize our life, our lifestyle, or my children. And so because this is what I'm doing, it has nothing to do with our marriage. So either you support me or we're not going to talk about it. And when it shows up to be successful, okay, listen, y'all done got me started. When it shows up to be successful and you didn't want to support it, so listen, don't talk to me. No, you can't go $5. I ain't got $5 to let you hold. No.
But sometimes, the women, the wives will support the men's dreams and the men's business. And when it comes to supporting us, they need all the details. They need blueprint.
Right.
They have all the questions. They got all the questions. They need all the answers. They need everything before they support our dreams and our passion. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Tell Gerard.
I know he is in the comments lighting up. Don't worry about Virginia, okay?
You done had to stop and look that up. You got too much time on your hands. Mind your business and stay in Texas.
I don't got to pay taxes. So with the husbands, and I know Miss, but just with the husbands, how do you as wives or spouses, how do you handle if they have to work? And if for the wives out there, like the demand on their long work schedule, like how would you help wives out there for like their husbands with their long work schedule? What advice do you have, Miss Carly? Do you experience that? Have you experienced that?
Yeah, my husband, he worked long hours sometimes, but this is the thing, right? I travel for work.
Oh, you're a traveler. This ain't for you then. This not for you.
This is not the conversation for her, okay?
I mean, when I was so I'm still, because I don't want this misinterpreted, okay, people, and because I know in the dating streets too, a lot of single people going for the married men too. So I want to make it emphatically clear that I'm still married and I'm still at home, but I travel for work, right? So, I mean, you got to put this disclaimer out there, but. When I was home even more, or when I'm home and he's working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week and different things, he's been blessed, right? That you don't really have to do a lot of things because I'm just an organized person. I have a schedule, I have a system. So cooking, cleaning, all of these different things, not that he has this expectation that this is that you need to do. But in a marriage, we're here to serve one another, right? And so I've been blessed where now, as a scientist, I'm traveling for work. I travel to speak. I travel, and I wouldn't have did it with toddlers, but because my kids are older, right? But he was very supportive. Go after, if that's what you want to do, go ahead, right? You talked about it, so go for it. So those long hours and different things, and it could be both people working long hours, right? So what is that going to be? Y'all calling each other saying, hey, who going to order dinner? It's so many things out here to make things easier to run your household. So a lot of times, like Tameka was talking about earlier, we don't want to release anything, right? So learn how to delegate in your household, right? That delegated may be hiring someone to clean your home, hiring someone to wash your clothes, delegating to the older kids to say, hey, you like vacuuming, so everyone's going to come to collectively to clean the house. And because you really love vacuuming and you get a joy out of it, wonderful. I'm gonna let you do that and make sure you do this. And the person who want to clean bathrooms and mop floors, let them do that, because now we're even teaching team building. We're seeing everyone collaborate in the household to achieve one thing, to have a clean house. And so on those long shifts, whether it's you, whether it's your husband, whether like we have to virtual date, like you got to make it spicy. You got to do what you need to do. Okay. So what we're not going to do is make a whole bunch of excuses why we can't do this, or quit being selfish, or I'm tired. And okay, well, if everyone's tired, DoorDash. I mean, it's just so many things out here that we can't make excuses for not being. We have to be willing to say, honey, look, you had a long day. Look, I'm getting ready to order something to eat. Do you have anything particular? Or if you know what they like to eat, go ahead and order you all's favorite meal and chill out.
Right.
I say, and not just willing, I say just on the heels of that, you have to be intentional. And so sometimes we get lost in the sauce and forget about the things that are going on. Because when I was in a relationship, he was 9 hours away. And so he would be gone for 3 weeks and then home for a week. And that was the rotation. And for me, I can't lie, y'all, part of me liked it because I like having my freedom and I have the deal. Okay, if I'm just absolutely honest, it's like, whew. Then I said, let me do these 7 days, and then he gets to go for 21. However, one of the things,
the perfect relationship. Okay,
look, Miss Cookie, it gave you an opportunity to miss him.
That part. Now, and we use technology to the best, video chatting with each other, talking to each other, staying in touch, keeping that going. But one of the things, and I will say this to the death of me, one of the places that I was not as strong in was I didn't make an effort to go there to visit. And for me, it was not practical because you're 9 hours away. So I have to drive 9 hours to get there. And then you work 12 hours a day, 21 days in a row. So when I come there, you're at work for 12 hours of the day. So it didn't make sense for me, but it meant the world to him. The times when I did go, and I would try to like pop up and surprise him, because women sometimes feel like they can't be romantic. Like, your man like to be romantic too. I don't care what he say. And so the time would pop up on him. Yes, I'll say it just meant the world to him, but I had to be intentional in it. I had to plan that. I had to book that into my day, just like I would a job or anything else. I had to say, you know what, my man this weekend. So I'm not working on Friday. I'm not working on Monday, instead of just kind of getting caught in our hamster wheel of going to work and doing these things. So I think about it.
Miss Cookie, I'm with you with the pop-ups, honey, because I was in California and I popped up on them. Okay. I almost brought my husband to tears. Popped up. Hey, he in my daughter's room. He came home from work after a 12-hour shift. I popped out the room, surprise! And he was
like, didn't believe he was there. Okay.
Yes,
I love that.
So, Miss Tameka, someone had said, I had made a post, and someone had said that we tend in the Black community, we tend to put our jobs and our career before nowadays, before we put family and marriage. Do you think that's true?
And I would say, as you know, something that Miss Cookie hit on earlier, that some women may not want children, and so in that aspect, yeah, you can put your job first if you're not married. But I would say that when it comes to you being married, whether you have children or not, your relationship has to take a priority. But I think that's still a conversation that you must have with each other, because if I'm going to spend all this time with you, sir, okay, you're going to have to make up that money somewhere else, sir. Okay.
Well,
So we,
let me rephrase. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase the question. We put the career, and then later on try to get married, like later on in life.
uh, well, see, I can't really talk on that right there for you, Claire, Ivory Claire, because when I was back in 1999, um, for the 99,
I
okay,
need
this
to
for the
look
99, all right.
He ain't no good.
Listen, he snatched the girl up real quick. He was like, "Listen, I see you over there. I got to have you." And three and a half months later, he put a ring on that
Oh,
thing,
okay.
right? So I,
Look at it. Let me go to Miss
I can't even answer that right there, okay?
Cookie.
Can't even make some shake. Listen. So as far as putting the career first and waiting till later, I feel like when you get your person, you gonna know it's your person. And
Right.
so the rest of that will kind of fall into place. I wasn't intentional in putting my career first. Yes, come on, put a ring on it. I wasn't intentional in putting my career first, but again, I had kids early. So after I had kids, I'm like, baby, I gotta go get this money. I gotta have a real job because we finna do some real things. So I went straight into work. And I would date, but I did. I'm gonna go make this money. I'm not finna be out here hanging out with you and missing bills and missing priorities and stuff until we get to a place to where you have made me a priority. We working on something together. Just right on the heels of what Tameka said. Like, if I'm missing money, if I'm missing what I need, I'm gonna need you to come in and be that filler in between. And if you're not willing to do that, it might not be right for me in that moment, because I feel like a person that understands me is going to understand my goals. Even I went to school and got my master's degree, and I finished in 22. And so for me, that was a conversation to be had. It was almost like I was putting my master's degree before my relationship in some aspects, because it was lots of times I had to say, nope, I'm too tired. I can't do this. I got a paper due tomorrow. However, it was temporary. And we had that discussion going into it. I need 2 years of block time that you're going to have to ride this wave with me. And then he was willing to ride that wave with me during that time. But wherever I needed help, he was willing to fill that space. So if you're willing to feel and work and do with me, cool. I can prioritize you higher. But if you just over here chilling in the background ain't helping me with nothing, I gotta go get this money.
Right. Right. Okay. I second that motion.
Second
Okay.
that. How important is date night?
Say again.
How important is date night?
I think it's important because, like Carlita said, even if you're not in the same location, those virtual date nights can happen, and they should happen because it allows you to stay connected. I mean, a date is all about allowing you the time to, put the worries of the world to the side and just focusing on that other person and having just intimate conversations, right? Getting to, let them decompress their time or the past 2 weeks or week, however often you do it, but allowing them to let it all go and just focusing on each other, communicating with each other, almost renewal on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. I like how Carlika said about doing a virtual and she just pop up. When we lived, oh my gosh, I'm about to age myself. I ain't gonna tell y'all the year, but we lived in Mississippi, okay? And he was actually in the military still. My husband was still in the military, and he was in Texas for some A school or C school or whatever it was. and I was in Mississippi, so we would meet up every weekend in Louisiana because for the boot, okay. So we would meet up in Louisiana, and we would do that every week. We would do it every weekend because he was, hours, like I think he was like 6 hours away at that time. So we would just meet, drive half and half, and we'd have a great time for the weekend. And then he go his way, I go mine. And I was just like, okay, it's only 5 more days, and we're gonna be back right back here, okay?
Right.
So it allows you to have that quiet time and then just the time to just focus on each other. So I think a date night is important to relationships, whether you're married or not.
I think it's important the same way that we plan things for our kids, right? We don't, and it's crazy how like we don't have a problem spending, planning, or anything when it comes to our kids. Mm-hmm. Then when we move into marriage, we don't have a problem typically if you're being intentional and spending that time on a gift or spending that time, like Tameka said, intimacy, right? Just having those conversations or just being in each other's presence. But then we even think about individually, right? How many of us will wait and say, I don't need that right now, or we won't treat ourselves to something because we're thinking of, okay, not right now, I'll get it later. But if it's for our kids, it's for our spouse and different things, we're like, oh no, I know they're gonna love this. We're so excited, right, to pour into them. And so yes, date night is important. So look, I don't know, I like doing pop-ups, right? We have to make it work. Even what Miss Cookie was saying about her degree, I'm with Gerard. I didn't look at it as putting it first, but when we're in different transitions in our lives, right? You went from having no kids to motherhood. You went from being single to married, or married to divorced, or whatever that looks like. And so now it's a different season. So how do we keep communicating that to each other? We have to ask, what is it that you need from me at this time and space in your life? I ask my children the same question. They're not on bottles anymore, so they don't need formula. You know how crazy they would look at 22 sucking on my breast? Like that would look ridiculous. Right? The people would be like, y'all are nasty, okay? Like what y'all got going on over there?
What's really going on?
But I asked them the same question. What is it that you all need from me? And it may even be today. What do you need from me today? Because today you may need just some extra encouraging. Today, you might actually need me to back off a little bit and give you some space, right? That's even with our spouses. So when we create those boundaries as well to say, hey, people like me time and all of these different things, right? You need to have time for yourself. You need to have time for you and your spouse. You need to have time for family. You need to have time where it's just you and your friends. You need to, because if your spouse is the problem that day, you probably don't want to talk to the spouse, right? So you need someone that you can pour out to, but they're not telling you to go get a divorce. They're not giving you all this bad advice. They're looking at the situation and they're listening to your heart and listening to you. So I think just asking each other, hey, what do you need from me at this space and time in your life?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's good because it's that simple. I mean, because sometimes we make it so hard and we hold it in and just thinking like, oh, well, they should know what I need. You should know. You've been with me long enough. You should know. And it's just that simple. Just ask. Just ask. Right. Ask what's wrong. Just ask, what do you need from me? What can I do? How can I make it better? Are you okay? Is that simple sometimes?
Yes.
It's that simple. So you touched on it, a little bit, Miss Carlika, but Miss Tameka, tell us, how do you balance all three? Like, how do you balance all three plus your needs in there also? How do you balance money, your marriage, motherhood, and with your?
Well, one thing, I don't focus on it. I don't worry about it. Because again, like I said earlier, last year I gave everything to God, right? Because at a point I felt overwhelmed. It was a lot. I'm dealing with having to be a wife. I'm homeschooling these two kids that sit here and think they're my teacher. Okay. I have a business and I'm active in the business, but I have to also make time for me and my quiet time, my sanity, my self-care. And so it became a lot. It became a lot. And then when you add on all the external factors, so, family and issues, you may have to step in and help family with things. Friends, you may be there listening in, that shoulder to cry on. So having to understand what that boundary looks like. And again, just getting overwhelmed with it, I was just like, okay, God, it's in your hands. Like, I'm tired of trying to find out how to do or what to do or when to do, and I ain't doing nothing. Okay, so I had to just stop worrying about it. I stopped focusing on all the things, and I learned to I began to pray every single day in the mornings. Like, I would pray throughout the day, but I began starting my day off with prayer. I'm just like, okay, God, whatever I'm supposed to do, I need you to give me the energy, the focus, the determination, and the guide to do that thing, and everything else will just be the cherry on top. All right. And so I just stopped stressing over it all. I stopped worrying about it. And I just got in alignment with God's will for my life. Like, I can't give anything else but that, because that's what works for me. It may not work for everybody else, but I'm trying to tell you, better release control. I can talk about experience from that, right? But I will say that for me, that's how I found a way to just enjoy life, to not stress about everything in life. Is I stopped worrying about it all. I stopped worrying about what I didn't have control over. The one thing that I can't control is how somebody else is going to act or react or behave towards me. I was always trying to say, okay, let me just do this so I don't push a button over there. At the end of the day, I don't care no more, because I know that I'm acting in the way that I'm supposed to act. If I'm being a good person towards you and you choose to act the behind towards me, that's on you. I'm not responsible for that. And that's with anybody, any relationship, you know what I'm saying? With the husband, okay? It doesn't matter who it is. I have to get it over to God, because if I respond with Tameka, the flesh, that ain't Tameka showing up. That's Tasha, and that's not the person nobody needs to come to. But I know me. So again, how I, found a way to have all of it is that I just stopped stressing about it all, and I put it in God's hands, and whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm in alignment with that.
That's good. How about you? Like, how do you balance all of them, and then also, have time for yourself too?
I definitely say you have to create a flow, right? And when you create a flow, even if sometimes you have to tweak it or you got to change things up, because, okay, if your business is beginning stages, right? Or you got the newborn, right? You might have to adjust your schedule. So I think when we learn how to adjust to create a flow and not getting stuck in just one mundane way, knowing that things change, people change, seasons change, transitions are always going on in our lives, right? And so for me, that balance, even when it comes to motherhood, marriage, money, God gave me 3 things. Number one, you have to respond properly. How are you going to respond to the situations? Control the controllables. I can control me. I can't control my kids. I cannot control my husband, right? I can be a good steward over my money, but things come up, right? You might have to get another tire. It comes up. So being a good steward over that, and then really finding ways, how can I multiply? And then so responding properly. How are you responding when situations come up? Are you responding the same way you did 10, 20 years ago? Then grow up. Number 2 would be tame your tongue. There's power in our words, right? Tame your tongue. What are you saying over your life? What are you saying into your children's life? What are you saying just throughout the day, even about yourself? So when I started learning to tame my tongue, because your girl had a slick lip, okay? And God was like, that ain't cute no more, okay? It ain't never been cute, but it really ain't cute now, right? It's like seeing a 2-year-old do something, but now they was 2, now they 10 and doing the same thing. It ain't cute no more. So he said, tame your tongue, be intentional, watch the words. What are you saying? Even the word of God says there's death and life in the power of the tongue. What are you saying out of your own mouth? I read this book and I listened to it like 3 or 4 times out the week, God's creative power. And it says that my people can have whatever they say, but my people are saying what they have. So if you want to change something in your life, check your language, check your words. So tame your tongue. And the last thing, love unconditionally.
Yeah.
Most of us keep tally marks, right? Like we can raise our hand in the comments if you are or was a tally mark keeper, right? You keeping tally marks, and the Bible tells us we shouldn't even be keeping tally marks, right? It says we shouldn't even be keeping count of all of the wrongdoing that people have done. Loving your enemies, so loving unconditionally. You got to. It's a process, right? It is a process, but I can tell you when I have implemented those three things in my life, I created a consistent flow in my life. So I really aim to live a stress-free life. So I rest good at night, right? Whatever I didn't get to, but I was intentional on my day, I'm not beating myself up. I'm getting sleep. I'm eating good. I'm walking. I'm engaging with my kids and making sure, and this is with me being miles and miles away, not physically in the home. But Tameka said it earlier, when you release, why? Because God doesn't need our help, nor does he need our hand in the midst of everything that he's doing. So look, respond properly, tame your tongue, and love unconditionally.
I love
Well,
that.
look, you didn't close this all the way out, honey. I thank you for that. Listen, y'all said this panel has been so good, and I appreciate. I know that Miss Cookie had to jump off, but I appreciate you, Miss Carlika, and of course you, Miss Tameka, for this your transparency. I know that it's not going to change all in one day, but I know that it helped so many ladies out there. So just thank you for your journey. Thank you for just encouraging us, even me. So encouraging us ladies out there. So thank you. So y'all don't go nowhere. Share, keep on sharing, everybody, and keep on making the comments out here. Up next, we have the beautiful Coach Charmin D, the founder of and creator. I got to read. I got to make sure I get her bio right now. The creator of Charmin D LLC, operating under the name Bitter to Beautiful. As a certified life coach and transformational expert, she specializes in inspiring and empowering women who have faced and hurt betrayal, with the mission to guide individuals in transforming bitterness into beauty. Coach Charmin D firmly believes that bitter is not better, drawing from profound insights into pain into resilience. She provides unwavering support and resources to facilitate the healing and rebuild of lives. A natural leader, Coach Charmin D holds a bachelor's in public administration and organizational leadership. Despite facing challenges along her journey, her dedication ties in empowering women to uncover inner strength and embrace beauty. Coach approach is marked by resilience. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited and a little nervous too, but excited more.
Oh, no. Welcome.
Just let me set up my slides. Give me 1 second. Good evening, beautiful souls. I am so honored to present at the energizeHER Leadership Summit among such amazing women. Thank you, Tameka, for creating this platform for us to share our voices. I'm also extending my gratitude to my coach, Dr. Tavis Taylor, who believed in me. Again, I'll go over exactly who I am. My name is Coach Charmin D. I'm a God's girl. I'm a wife. I'm a girl mom, 2 amazing daughters, a certified life coach. I am the director of APM Personnel. That is my day job. I'm an author, a CEO of Charmin D LLC, and Bitter to Beautiful podcast host. At Bitter to Beautiful, we empower women to overcome past relationship wounds, guiding them towards resilience, confidence, and purpose. Our dedicated team, comprising of myself and Coach Lynette, is committed to fostering a supportive community where every woman can rewrite her story, transforming bitterness into beauty and reclaiming their life, walking in the fullness of God's purpose. That is key. That is key. That is key. So let's get this started. Our motto at Bitter to Beautiful is God doesn't want you bitter. He wants you beautiful. This guiding principle underscores our commitment to resilience, growth, and the pursuit of inner beauty amidst life challenges. Can I just say, life be lifing it? Y'all know how it goes. What is bitterness? If you've ever had an experience with bitterness, how about you put it in the chat? Listen, this is a no judgment zone because some of us have experienced it from time to time. So go ahead, put it in the chat. Bitterness is defined as anger or disappointment at being treated unfairly, resentment. Bitterness is a natural emotion that we all experience at some point in our lives. It can be a result of a personal attack, professional development disappointment, and or relationship gone wrong. It may include betrayal, being cheated on, or lied to. Again, I know most of us have experienced that. But how do you know you're bitter? I gotta be honest and transparent. When I was posting across social medias, one of my girlfriends sent me a message and said, I ain't bitter. And I was like, okay, so hold on just a second. Some people may not realize that they're bitter. But here's this. If you find yourself holding on to things, unable to let go, consistently feeling negative and talking negative, sis, you might be bitter. So you might have to be paying attention to what you're doing. Bitterness is a complex emotion that can manifest in various ways, and sometimes we don't realize it. Again, resentment. Bitterness often involves harboring feelings of grudges towards others due to perceived wrong, unfair treatment, or betrayal. Pessimism. A bitter person often develops a negative outlook, expecting the worst in situations and people. Hostility. This emotion can manifest as anger or hostility towards others, even those not directly involved. So, if you had a bitter divorce and the opposite sex frustrates you and you take it out on them, you could be bitter. Just something to think about. The repercussions of harboring bitterness can impose significant burdens. Listen, bitterness affects your body. It strains relationships. Bitterness often strains relationships, leading to conflict and breakdowns due to an inability to get past grievances. Bitterness also affects your relationship with God. Because if you're bitter, you're frustrated, sometimes you blame God for it. He didn't do it. That person did it. It causes health problems. Chronic bitterness can cause a range of health issues from stress, anxiety, depression, heart problems. Weakening both your mental and your physical well-being. Bitterness affects your thought process, how you think, how you move, how you function. It also stunts your personal growth. Bitterness hinders personal progress, trapping individuals in the past, hindering their ability to seize new opportunities and grow from experiences. Bitterness leaves you stuck. Ephesians, the word of God, 4:31-32 says, get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ, God, forgave you. Forgive and let go. That has to be hard. Forgiveness released you from the bonds of bitterness that can poison our soul. Cindy Trent. Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ forgave you. Remember that forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. It allows you to heal, regain your power, and to move forward with purpose. And it gives you freedom. One thing to think about is letting go leads to freedom, freedom leads to power, and power leads to purpose. So now we're moving past the bitterness, we're forgiving, we're letting go, and we're taking the power that we took back and we're moving into purpose. So here's some transformational tips. Captivating self-reflections. Before making any major decisions, take time to reflect on your experiences and your emotions. For an example, if you're considering changing careers, reflect on the past job satisfaction and what truly motivates you. Identify any negative patterns or beliefs that contribute to bitterness. Seek opportunities for self-growth and personal development. Foster gratitude. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, shift your focus towards gratitude and appreciation. For instance, rather than complaining about your crazy schedule, take a moment each day to appreciate the support of the loved ones around you and the opportunities that you have to pursue your passion. Recognize and celebrate the positive aspects of life. We fail to recognize and celebrate even the little things. We have to be mindful to celebrate those things as well. But their accomplishments. Embrace your mindsets of abundance rather than dwelling in negativity. Stop being negative. Negative ain't gonna get you nowhere. Embrace change as an opportunity for growth and new beginnings. For an example, if you face a job loss, view it as a chance to explore new career paths or pursue further education to enhance your skills and qualities. I have first knowledge of that. I was told by my boss, I love her dearly, that she didn't think I qualified for a position. And I was feeling some type of way about that. I was in my bag. I was feeling some type of way. But you know what I realized? That the God I serve, there's no doors that he opens that anybody can close. And when I settled down and thought about it, it actually led me to a better position. I said, go look again. And she looked again and it led me to a better position. So sometimes, be open to new perspectives and possibilities. Adapt and learn from challenges, situations, allowing them to shape you positively. Again, let's be positive. Surround yourself with positivity. Surrounding yourself with a supportive team or community that uplifts you. I gotta say, I talk about my community all the time. Mompreneur, the Great Emerge, the Resourceologist Room. These women who took me in, didn't know me, loved on me, took care of me, encouraged me, gave me a voice. And now I'm here today. And I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Surround yourself again with supportive people. Engage in activities that bring you joy and inspiration, and create a positive environment that nourishes your growth. Grow. Don't stay stuck. The journey from pain to power and purpose. Point 1, embracing the pain is a catalyst for growth. Understanding and accepting our pain is the first step in transforming into power. When we embrace our pain instead of avoiding it, we can learn valuable lessons and gain insight that help us grow. Pain can serve as a catalyst, pushing us to develop inner strength and resilience that we never knew we had. James 1:2-4 says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And let the perseverance finish its work so that you may mature and complete, not lacking anything. God doesn't say we're not going to go through trials and tribulations. He clearly says we are. But we have to take those, use those, and allow them to help us grow. Discovering purpose through adversity often reveals our true purpose. When we are navigating through the struggles and the challenges, we begin to uncover the unique path God has laid out for us. Our experiences of pain can guide us to help others who are going through similar situations to turn it into a purposeful mission. Romans 8:28 says, and we know In all things, not some, not a little bit, God works for good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. God does all things well. Trust it, believe it, and know it. So, lastly, nurturing your inner resilience. We are resilient women. We are resilient. We are resilient. Trust it. Captivate self-compassion. The importance of self-compassion is overcoming bitterness and embracing your personal growth. Encourage resilience in the face of challenges and setbacks. Foster a growth mindset and openness to learn. Enhance self-esteem and self-worth. You are worthy. Promotes emotional well-being and reduces stress. Strategies for practicing self-care and development. Prioritize physical health through regular exercising, balancing nutrients, and sufficient sleep. Ladies, we have to get our sleep. Engage in activities that bring you joy, relaxation, such as hobbies or mindful practices. Set boundaries. Can I say it again? Set boundaries. When you release somebody from who has hurt you, who has put you in a space of bitterness, it is okay to forgive and let go, but set boundaries and learn to say no to avoid burnout and being overwhelmed. Foster supportive relationships and seek social connections. Invest in personal growth through learning, acquiring new skills, and setting goals. Practice self-compassion and captivate positive inner dialogue. Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. Miss Brown. Thank you so much for allowing me to share. Bitterness is not better or beautiful. Remember, God desires your beauty, not your bitterness. Again, thank you for allowing me to share.
Listen, I got to talking and I'm on mute over here. Okay. But I want to say thank you so much, Coach Charmin. This is absolutely needed, is necessary as you are helping us learn to go from pain, okay, to power. Embracing all of the things, embracing change. I love that one. Embrace the change that comes, because a lot of times we're fighting off and we don't want to deal with the change that comes. That's too scary, right? But I appreciate you for sharing this, because this is the transformation that women need. They need to go on this transformation, and you need to guide them on this transformation, Coach Charmin. Okay. So listen, please tell us, how can the listeners and the viewers, how can they tune in to you, find you, connect with you? What is the best way for them to connect with you, Coach Charmin?
So we have a Bitter to Beautiful podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Listen Notes. It's just Bitter to Beautiful. You just type Bitter to Beautiful. We have a social media page, www.bittertobeautiful.com. And we also have a Flow Desk page, which will allow you to connect with us. You can set up a 15-minute consultation. We can talk you through it, because people really don't believe they're bitter. You just have to work with them to get them to understand that. And that address is bittertobeautiful.myflowdesk.com at bittertobeautiful.com. So anyone,
read it one more time.
bittertobeautiful.myflowdesk.com/bittertobeautiful.
Awesome. All right. So listen, I'm putting this on the screen. I want you all to go and connect with Miss Charmin Deloach. Okay. I want you to connect with her and find ways that she can help you. Well, she'll tell you how she can help you go from bitter to beautiful. I know that we all have a beautiful woman inside of us, and a lot of times life just be lifing, and it can turn us bitter, or there are some bitter pieces of within us that fester in us, right? So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this, Miss Lynette. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this for Coach Charmin. But I thank you all for tuning in to this interactive workshop with Coach Charmin, as she helped you all go from bitter to beautiful. Again, here's her information where you can find her, connect with her, bittertobeautiful.com. And then on a flow desk, bittertobeautiful.myflowdesk.com/bitter to beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Oh, listen, Ivory says she loved the title. I bet you do, Ivory. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't it beautiful? So listen. Oh, and the email, hello@bittertobeautiful.com.
Thank
Yes,
you.
hello@bittertobeautiful.com.
Mhm.
I love how your community is showing up for you. And this is what this is all about. Having women be surrounded by amazing, amazing women who want to see you win, who want to see you succeed, who will show up for you and be a cheerleader for you when you can't even cheer yourself on. So, Dr. Tavis Taylor, listen, I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at you. Thank you. I appreciate you for
Thank you.
introducing Coach Sharman to us for the Energizer Leadership Summit. Absolutely. She says, we love Sharman. Okay. So, thank you for introducing her. And I appreciate you and I appreciate your time of being here, Coach Sharman.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good evening. All
You
right.
as well. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So listen, we have had our panel. We kicked this thing off talking about transformation. I shared with you about, chasing your transformation and trusting his process for your life. We then had our panel with Ivory moderating and joined by Carlika Besnight Menendez and Miss Andrea Smith, better known as Miss Cookie, Miss Cookie. And we talked about motherhood, marriage, and money. And Miss Coach Sharman just came through and she gave us the playbook on going from bitter to beautiful. So I hope that you all connect with these beautiful souls, connect with these beautiful women, and learn ways that you can work with them. Just again, that's what it's all about. This is what energizeHER is all about: energizing women, introducing you to women that you need to know in your life. That way you can embrace life, embrace the life that you are designed to live, embrace the life that you want to live. All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up and we're going to introduce one of our favorite gents to joining us on the Energizer Leadership Summit, Mr. Troy. Well, hold on, I can't say Mr. no more, y'all, because I got to put some respect on this man's name. Dr. Troy Carroll. Dr. Troy, are you ready, sir? Let's see if he's ready. I don't see you on here, sir. Can you hear me? Okay, well, when he comes, I will bring him on stage. But in the meantime, in between time, I just want to say thank you to our amazing sponsors for the Energizer Leadership Summit. Our sponsors are amazing. I will tell you that. I'm going to share a quick clip all about them. Sis Means Business with Dr. Tavis Taylor, Mogul TV Global Network, Moshe with Gerard Ware, and the leading executive, the Online Leadership Development Company. All right, so let me make sure that Ms. Troy can get on here with us real quick. But I want to just say thank you to all of our sponsors. I appreciate you for believing in energizeHER and believing in the Energizer Leadership Summit and sharing your platform with us. I appreciate you. Energizer is all about helping to normalize the conversation of mental wellness for women of color and girls, Gen Z girls of color as well. Helping us to have these conversations that allow us to thrive, that allows us to step into our purpose. Coach Sharman talked about walking in your purpose, and that's what energizeHER hopes to do, is to help women, help girls walk in their purpose, giving them the cheerleader community that they need, helping them, embrace their lives and learn to love the lives they live, right? So I thank each of my sponsors for showing up. And I thank each of them for saying yes to the Energizer Leadership Summit. So with that, we have our Energizer Village for girls. It's all about the girls. I have a very soft heart for our girls because at one time I was a girl. Yes, at one time I was a girl. Dr. Troy, I can't see you. Are you on camera? Can you turn your camera on? I can't see you, sir. But we have the Energizer Village for girls, and it's all about giving them the support they need, giving them the resources that they need, introducing them to women of value, women of morals and values that allow them to see themselves as an adult, right? So this is all about energizeHER Village for girls. Let's see here. Oh, so Gerard, I'm just gonna take a few comments here while we're waiting on Dr. Troy to join us back. But Gerard, thank you. He says, I want to take a moment to uplift the work that you amazing women are doing in a world where Black women continue to be belittled and attacked. You remind the world that Black women are amazing and needed. Absolutely. We are amazing and we definitely, we are needed. There's a lot that we're doing in the world. And I know that for me, I want to see all women happy. I want to see you smile. I want to see you genuinely loving the life that you're living. And so that is what we're here to do. So until we get Dr. Troy Carroll to come back on board, I'm just going to talk to y'all for a minute. If y'all have any comments, I want to hear, how has this been for you tonight? If there was a conversation, if there were some words spoken, if there was, something said tonight that touched you, that gave you, ooh, yes, that right there. Like, put it in the comments. I would love to know what is it you're getting from the Energizer Leadership Summit, because at the end of the day, I did this through his guidance, right? Well, I did this through God's guidance for what it is that I should be birthing and what it is that I should be pushing out. And I definitely I wanted to do this for women. I wanted to make sure that women understood that they are loved and cherished and that they're not alone. They're not in this by themselves. So I would love if you all would put it in the comments and let me know what has been your biggest takeaway from this evening. Listen. Dr. Joy Carroll is in the house. Okay, listen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Perfect. Okay. It's always the technical difficulties, right?
Listen, it wouldn't be right if it wasn't. It wouldn't be right if it wasn't. It's always going to be something trying to mess up this good routine we got going on, right?
I think I heard someone say earlier, when life tries to life you.
When life tries to life you, what you gonna do? You gonna buckle up or you gonna show up? Hey. I mean, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
So listen, Dr. Troy Carroll is one of my fave guys, one of my fave gents, and he always has something good to say, something inspirational to say. I do know that every time I get on a call with Dr. Troy, he always has something that's gonna make me laugh, that's gonna make me think about something a little bit different, give me some insights on a few things, and I just appreciate our conversation. So I just want to tell you that in front of the world. I appreciate you, Dr. Troy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dr. Troy, I want to make sure that we give you the proper introduction as America's #1 intentionality coach. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Boom, we did it. So it's all about being intentional. We spoke earlier tonight about being intentional with the things that we're doing. And it's right on time that Dr. Troy is here. I couldn't have planned this even any more perfect than it is. So we're going to jump right into conversation.
Okay.
Dr. Troy, can you share what sparked you into wanting to speak about and be about intention and being intentional in your life? What sparked that for you?
Well, I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. So in 2007, I died on the operating table from pulmonary edema. Obviously, I didn't plan that, so that wasn't intentional. But as I went through the process of healing, what I determined was that I've been living my life in a sense by mistake. I was allowing life to kind of blow me around like a leaf in the wind, right? And it meant that a lot of times, more often than not, I ended up in spaces that, yes, although I chose them, it wasn't my intention to be there. Whether it was a type of job, living situation, relationships, all those things were byproducts of some of my trauma and dysfunction, and last but not least, fear of being successful.
Right.
So I had to go through a chrysalis process, right? That transformation that we talked about earlier, I also called the chrysalis process. And I've gone through so many different programs, including the one in which I met you in so many years ago. And all that is a part of that journey to become the best version of who I am. And I've gone through so many iterations of who Dr. Troy is, right? And because before that, I wasn't Dr. Troy, I was Mr. Troy. And I was an empowerment strategist, and I've been so many different things. Right. And you try on different hats, you try on different pairs of shoes, you try on different coats. You don't really know what fits you best until you try on purpose and with a purpose to have a fit in the first place.
I love that. I love that. So as a man of intention, right? As a man of intention, what does it look like for men to be supportive? Like, what does that intention look like? Or what is the importance of being intentional in the support of women, whether it is your significant other as your wife, your baby,
Right.
your boo?
The boo thing. um, so here's the thing. Support is much like a love language. Now, in addition to a love language, there's also a love dialect. So there's no cookie cutter for being supportive of a person. That requires you to do one of the most important things that you could ever do, which was listen with intention. So if you listen with intention, you can learn on purpose. And that allows you to then know what kind of support that person needs for their specific journey. Sometimes it could be just sitting there and nodding your head and listening. Sometimes it could be adding advice where necessary. Sometimes it could be offering ideas. Sometimes it could be a push. Now, you know you need to get up off that couch and do something extra. So it depends on the person themselves, right? Now, there is a foundation that I think we can all agree upon that conversations and relationships are built upon. So communication, respect, acceptance, empathy, trust, all those things are the building blocks of any kind of relationship. It doesn't matter whether it's a platonic relationship or a romantic relationship. Right. The bottom line is you need a foundation. You need to actively listen. And you know how to apply that to be constructive based off that person. It's a personal recipe, a personal blueprint for each individual, but you can't get there. You can't get that unless you learn the person that you're with. And sometimes, you know, that requires unlearning poor behaviors.
Yeah.
Unlearning poor behaviors. They're called false core beliefs. You have to unlearn some of those things. Let me use an example. Most men believe that all women love roses. Most men believe that all women love roses. I'm not saying no women love roses. I'm saying that men, some men, many men, believe you love roses. Well, the truth is you may love flowers, but not necessarily roses. So we have to understand, what do you actually love, and then provide that thing as a part of your love language. That same philosophy applies to support. We may think, oh, she just wants me to do X, when the truth is she needs you to do Y. But you never thought, because we learned as a core habit to take that past behavior and move it forward. So now we're supporting you like we supported someone else. That could have been our mom, our homeboy, one of our children. It could have been anyone other than the person who's standing with us in our lives. So we have to unlearn, then relearn, and apply that information going forward.
I love that. I love that. Especially when it comes to, you know, supporting women, because a lot of times, as you say, you're just going along with this whole thing of, you know, all women love this one thing, and that's not the case. That is so not the case. So it would help the relationship go that much further if you just learn, listen. I love what you said. Listen with intention and learn on purpose. That's the key. That is the key. So I do see Gerard said here, can I add sacrifice for the needs of others as well, when you were speaking on the support?
That's a very slippery slope. And I'll tell you why. Not that it's untrue, because it is, right? Love of any type requires sacrifice, but it is reciprocal sacrifice that we have to make sure that we apply, right? So I have a cup, you have a cup. You're thirsty, I'm thirsty. Not the way they say thirsty now, when you say you're thirsty for somebody.
You're thirsty.
But everybody has a thirst to quench. And it is, hey, Tavis, how you doing? It is imperative that we are reciprocal and that we're always seeking balance. Now, I said seeking balance. I didn't say I find it. You will never find balance. You will never find balance. You are always seeking it. And we'll go back. What is it? On purpose, with purpose.
Right.
When you're a kid, sometimes you used to walk on the curb, right? And you're going back and forth, right? But you never just walked straight down there. You always at some point fell on one side or the other. You are always seeking balance. So when it comes to sacrifice, yes, that is an important part of it, but it is sacrifice with reciprocity. Now, I have this saying I made up. It's called reciprofaction. Okay. If you reciprocate and I reciprocate, then we both have satisfaction. That's how it works.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so listen, in that vein right there, you know, you support me, I support you. Okay. It's reciprocated.
Right.
How can men, here's the word balance, all right? How can they balance being supportive without overstepping their boundaries when it comes to supporting the women regarding the biases that they are now having to face and the challenges that they have to face when it comes to their own transformation? Because I'll say this, women, just like you said, you went through, you know, transformations, you went through iterations, you know, to become. And us as women, we, you know, we do the same thing. We go through many changes to become who we are. I know I have. Okay. I've gone through many different things that I was doing to become who I am now. And so as a spouse, as you know, for your wife, how can men be supportive without overstepping on the intentional side, or without it coming off of almost control? Not saying that it's control, but you know, the tone and the delivery of things can come off that way as women are now trying to move into their transformation for what it is and who it is that they are destined to become.
I would love to say that's an easy question to answer. It's easier for me to answer because of my vocation. Right. So I've unlearned a large amount of thought processes about the similarities and the differences between men and women, because those things can be impacted by the environment that you grow up in. So I call it being a victim or a beneficiary of nurture. So as a man, I grew up in a predominantly female household. So my interaction with women is going to be obviously different than someone who did not grow up in that type of environment. So it is imperative, especially with all the resources that we have today, that we take the opportunity to unlearn some of the things that we have picked up along the way based off of that landscape and reapply some of the things that we can learn, such as being gentle, knowing that sometimes as a fixer, because men have learned to be fixers, not all men, many men have learned in our environment to be fixers. You kind of take a step back and learn that not every opportunity is for you to fix. That opportunity is for you to listen and then say, may I give you some advice? Can I say something? The answer might be no. No, you can't say anything, Jeffro. I need you to finish. Let me finish talking.
Don't say nothing.
But we all need the opportunity to ask that question. And we also need to practice